Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of The Points of Articulation. My name's Dave and it's Halloween! Yay! So today we're going to be looking at the Friday the 13th... Wait a minute, didn't I look at Friday the 13th last year? Yeah, I thought I did the video game version. So what should I do this year? What's in? What's hip? I got it! So today we're going to be looking at the Stranger Things 3.75-inch action figure 3-packs, sets 1 and 2. Set number 1 features 11, Lukas and Mike, and set number 2, which I think I prefer, features Will, Dustin, and the Demogorgon, which is probably one of my favorite current monsters out there. So, for the actual sizes, the figures of the children, they're about 3.5 inches, a little over that I would say. For the Demogorgon, it's a little tiny, but over 5 inches. So it's a great set, and it's not just figures, it comes with a bunch of accessories too. So let's take a look at the box, open it up, look at the figures, the accessories, the articulation, compare it, and then we'll be done. So let's get moving! Okay, that's not as cool as I thought it would be. So let's get moving! Okay, when it comes to the packaging, we got a nice window in the front featuring our 3 main characters, 11, Lukas, and Mike. Very nice. Up at the top, we have Stranger Things, the logo, Funko, the Christmas lights from Season 1. On the back, beautiful artwork. I will admit that. I always like this type of art. Let it be Star Wars or Harry Potter. Doesn't really matter. I always love the artistic stuff that goes into the posters. And on the bottom, we have some copyright crap. Netflix, Kellogg's for the Eggos. And then on the bottom, other stuff. So the only difference between this box and the other is that there is no Kellogg's on the back. And it features 3 different names. So let's get them open. And here we have the figures right out of the box. And I must say, I am quite impressed with these. While looking at them through the box, all they look like is the original 5 points of articulation action figures we would get in the 90s. But looking closer at them, they have about 11 points, and that's pretty good. Now, the likenesses on some of these aren't exact, but they're pretty good, especially on Mike, or Dustin, or the Demogorgon. Now, one thing I have to say about the Demogorgon, I did have to put him on a stand. His legs are a little weak, so he's sort of just leaning on that stand, I guess you could say, with a peg and a foot. So what I'm going to do is this. We'll look at each figure, see what they come with, and then we'll go over the points of articulation, which are all the same for the little figures here. But the Demogorgon we'll do last because he's a little different. So let's get moving. Okay, up first we have 11. And I do like the paint on her. You can see her eyes are nice, blood on her nose, her lips, her hair. Now she does have short hair. She has her nice pink dress, blue jacket. Pretty cool. Those high socks. And tan shoes. Pretty cool. Now she does come with a box of Eggos, which is a nice touch. And she also comes with a Eggo, which is pretty sick. Next we have Lukas, which I don't think the likeness is there, but I can tell who it is with his headband. Nice paint on there, nice eyes, lips. Blue, dark blue, and white shirt. Bandolier belt. Pretty sick. He has a backpack, which is painted nice. Now, these can come off. I'll demonstrate that later. Brown pants. And then his shoes are 2 blues and white. Pretty awesome. Now, for accessories, Lukas comes with a slingshot, which is pretty nice. I like that a lot. And he can hold this. I'll demonstrate that in a moment. And he also comes with binoculars, which are painted. Nice touch. Sick. And the final figure of pack 1 is Mike, and I think the likeness is really good. The paint, It could have been a little better for his eyes, but the nose and the mouth, the jawline, that is definitely the character. Hair is painted, a little weird right there. His shirt, nicely done. I like all that. Watch. Backpack, again, painted really nice, and this does come off. All the kids come with backpacks. And then he has dark green pants. And shoes with a black stripe on them. Pretty cool. And all the figures have peg ports. So that's nice. And Mike comes with a little walkie-talkie right out of the show, painted silver and black. Pretty cool. Has a strap, and his hand does fit in there, like in the show, so he can hold it. For pack 2, we have Will. And I don't know, Will looks a little funny there. But his hair is definitely Will. Then we have his jacket. Nice paint here with the plaid. Sick. Then coming down to his blue pants. Neat. Black backpack. And then he has, I would say, a dark blue and white shoe. Pretty cool. And Will comes with no accessories. And now we have fan favorite Dustin. And I think the mold is great, just the paint could have been better. But his lips and eyes are painted. Nice hair. Great sculpt there. And his hat is nicely done and painted. Pretty cool. We have his shirt. Cool design there. Gray sleeves. Coming down to his like yellowish pants. And then we have his sneakers, which are just white. And Dustin comes with a can of chocolate pudding. So here's 11 holding her waffle in her hand. Pretty awesome. Now I can't get her to hold the Eggo package, but I'm sure with a little work it can be done. And here we have Lukas holding his binoculars and his slingshot. Pretty sick that they worked both of those in there. And here we have Mike holding his walkie-talkie. Pretty awesome. And finally Dustin holding his chocolate pudding. Okay, now to get the backpack off, you could tilt his arms back like so. And this will work for all the figures that come with backpacks. And it just slides off. As you can see here, you could even swap them throughout all the other figures. But for articulation, it heads on a ball joint, so it can spin all the way around, tilt up and down the slightest. Each figure is a little different with how far that can move. The arms are ball joints, so I can tilt that far up, that far down, spin all the way around. Now we have hinges for the elbows, so they basically can turn just like that. Very basic. Swivels for the hips, so it could go that far forward and that far back. And then we also have hinges for the knees. So there you go. That's the basic articulation for these guys. But 11 has one more piece of articulation. Now for 11, she has all the same articulation that the boys do. However, her hand can spin all the way around, so she could get into those mind power poses. And finally, we have the Demogorgon, and I must say, my favorite figure out of the whole pack right here. Nicely done. We have the mouth here with hundreds of teeth, little ridges on the sides, that black hole for his mouth. Looking at the back, just some nice skin tones here. Very creepy, and a lot of muscles. Just a brilliant job. He has some awesome hands. Pretty sick. Then we have his ribs, his stomach. This is a great job on this figure. And then his legs. And I liked his feet. You know, they look like tree stumps. With some nails on there. Pretty cool. So let's go over the articulation. Okay, looking at the articulation of the Demogorgon, his head is on a ball joint, so it could go down, up, spin all the way around. Pretty nice. His shoulders are on ball joints, so it could go that far up and spin all the way around. A little hindered by this little bone right here, but it's not bad at all. Then he has two hinges at both elbows. Well, I guess you could say that's his wrist. So elbow and wrist, and I think that came out pretty good. Now, looking at his legs, he has swivel hips, so he could go that far forward and about that far back, which is pretty good. And then he has 2 hinges for his knees, which is pretty awesome. Now, when you get him in the package, he's like this, and his head is pushed down a little bit, and he's all condensed. But once you get him out of the box, everything extends. And this is a great figure. The only problem with this figure I can find is that it's hard for him to stand with these weak hinges. So what I did is I put him on a stand, and, you know, basically he's good if you get him leaning the right way. So just keep that in mind. To compare with the Stranger Things 3.75-inch figure sets 1 and 2, we have Frieza from the Dragon Ball Superstars line. Great figure there. Another great figure right here, Marvel Legends Hela from the Thor Ragnarok wave. And finally, we have the 8 to 9 inch mark, NECA's Elder Predator from the AVP line. One of my favorite NECA figures, very nice with the cape and whatnot. But these are the huge figures. Hela's basically a 6-inch figure. She's normal. Frieza is about 5, almost 6. But you can see how these guys are small compared to the average figures sold. But don't let that discourage you. They are great, especially if you're a fan of Stranger Things. So that does it for my review today of the Stranger Things 3.75-inch action figure 3-pack sets 1 and 2. Now, I'm a huge fan of Stranger Things. I watched the first season and I just watched the second over the weekend. I really dig the nostalgia for the 80s time period. Video games, the music, synthesizers, all that stuff. Awesome! So when I found out that Funko was making 3-packs of these figures, I jumped on it, and I'm glad I did. And I hope they make more. So what do I like about these figures? First of all, the details are amazing. Each kid is unique, from their face sculpt all the way to their shoes. They're pretty accurate to the film. Now, if I had to say my favorites based on detail, obviously the Demogorgon is the best, completely accurate to what I saw in the show. Fantastic work there. For the kids, Mike and Dustin are by far the most detailed. Their sculpts look amazing. And yeah, each one is good in their own way, but those are just my personal favorites out of the sets. Now, paint. The paint is awesome. We have decals, colors that are accurate to the show. The only place where paint fails them is on the applications on the face. Either the eyes are a little crooked or something like that. But it's not too bad. They look pretty good. And next we have the articulation, which for a figure this small is pretty damn good. Now, the only issue with the articulation is sometimes their joints are a little loose. But if you're a good customizer, or if you're good with super glue or heating up the joints and cooling them into place, you shouldn't have a problem whatsoever. And also, I have to bring up the accessories. From the walkie-talkie to the Egos to Dustin's little can of chocolate pudding. This thing is great, and it just reminds me of all those iconic moments in the show. Now, if you're looking to buy these sets, I got mine off of BigBadToyStore.com. Each 3-pack was $19.99, and at first I thought that was a lot of money, but I just jumped on it, and I'm glad I did. There is a lot of detail and a lot of accessories, and it's everything that was in the show. They tried to pack as much as they could into the boxes, and I'm happy for that. I feel like I got my money's worth. Now, if you are looking to buy some of these, of course, I went to BigBadToyStore.com, but I guess you could check EntertainmentEarth.com or some other website. Also, I have been seeing a lot of these pop up at Target. Not the 3-packs, but they sell them singularly. So if you feel lucky, travel down to Target, see if you can find some. Now, I know there are a couple variants. First of all, they make a variant of the Demogorgon with a closed mouth, and also a variant of 11 with a wig. I think that was a con exclusive, but I have seen a bunch of people with them, so who knows, maybe you'll get lucky and find one. Now, obviously, I recommend this for fans of Stranger Things, or also fans of creatures. If you want to get the pack with the Demogorgon, he is a great-looking monster. So that's everything I have to say about this review. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, and if you'd like to see new reviews every Thursday, subscribe. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time, and happy Halloween!